Okay, guys, good morning to you. Today is the 22nd of May 2025, Crazy Market Talk with KEL. And same thing again, disclaimer apply as usual. Make sure you do your risk assessment before you enter the market. And the second half, we'll do the 21st of May market review. Yeah, okay, so all these things will be done accordingly. Now, yesterday I bumped into one student and something interesting happened. Um, this student let me say, Cal, heard that this coming boot camp is out, right? You have not many people joining it. I say, yeah, we about 10. Then this guy was saying, you know why the boot camp was so little people? I say, why? He said, because you every day do this thing. Every morning you do this market talk. Everybody been listening to you every single day. Not expert also become expert already. Okay. Then that was a really a good one, and seemingly it's happening because yesterday I have a friend from Indonesia telling me, Cal, wow, your group itself is incredible. Almost every day people makes money from the market, and you can see that the earnings itself are not small. Some of them is between 10 to 50 to hundreds to even $1,000. That's really good for a community. And all this because you guys are really paying attention to the market. And I cannot imagine when the Crazy app is fully ready, whereby the notification itself is ready. Oh my God, that will be a blaster. Yeah, so that's why I kind of believe that things will get better. Yeah. So hopefully, this all this sharing stuff will be effective and helpful. Because I can tell you what will happen next month and following month is that we will be branching towards overseas. And once we start to do that itself, right, I will have lesser time to do this type of morning session. Yeah. I mean, I cannot split myself to many different portion, right? So when we start to go overseas, this training will be lesser, all right? So it won't be like every day. So that's why I want you guys to, benefit from it. Okay. All right. Thank you very much. Now let's just go into the main G's of yesterday's market. Yeah. Now you can see that the dollar has continued to fall. Okay. Now the dollar has continued to fall because you can, we guess annotation. Here we go. Okay. Right, the dollar has begun to fall all the way down from 101 and been lowering down to now below 100. And although that we have a bit of oversold this signal, right? But we have seen before oversold can still go lower. And I kind of believe that this will can only be even lower if the bond market continue to go down. Okay, so let me show to you what's happening in the bond market. Yeah. So we do the TLT. Okay. Look at the bond market. I told you what happened, right? Remember? I told you the bond market will break below 85, and really it is actually happening. So you can see very clearly that the bond market broke below 85 and now it's at 84. Okay, guys, one full point lower than what we have talked about. And again, this has been proven. So you can see that we don't really do things just for fun. We actually really get it done seriously, and you can really see that I cover quite in-depth of stuff. Now, every morning I wake up at 4 o'clock just to watch the CNBC closing and understand what's happening. So I read a lot on the way to the office and get you some information. Okay, so first thing first, why did the bond market came down so much, right? You must understand that there's a 20 years auction recently. Now, honestly, the media makes a little bit of molehill here, yeah. The number of people buying the option is still quite high. In fact, it's 2.46 times more than the bond itself. So it's not like no people buy. Is that only, but the thing is, it's 2.46 times. But the average itself is 2.52. So because the number just dropped a little bit, right? Oh, the media whack it very heavily. So I guess somehow they are very shorted the market and then they really make the mountain out of molehill. So this one you must take note, yeah. So it's not like lesser people buy, not as in the point like, oh, until no one buy. No, people still buy it. Why? Because you must understand now the yield itself. If you look at the bond market, right, the bond price goes down because no one, I mean, people sell the bonds. So when the bond price goes down, the yield will go up to attract more people to come in. So if I am a trader and I want a yield to be 5% and more, I will punish the bond market. I'll push the bond market down so that once the bond come to a certain value, right? Okay, the yield will be another value which is much higher. Then I will buy the bond. Then it's safe. Then it's worthy to buy. And the dollar now is also at the lower end, right? So become very good to buy. So I suspect that the 10-year yield, as I told you before, right? the 10-year yield, right, will be pressing towards the 4.65 to 4.7%. Okay, let me just bring this to you. Yeah, this is the 10-year yield. The 10-year yield now, right, what they're looking at is 4.66. So that is the time back in February, whereby we saw the yield went to 4.66. So we do a cross model over with the Dow Jones, right? Let's take a look. Yeah. At the time when this happened, right, the Dow Jones was trading at 44,354. Okay, sorry, hold on a minute. Yeah. Okay, caught a cold. All right. So the thing is this: you can see that back then the Dow Jones has 44,322. Now where we are right now, the Dow Jones at 41,860 plus plus. Okay, so the thing is this right now, if the bond yield is to go to 4.66, right, you can see what happened. The market itself, right, after that really caved in. After that really caved in. So the question will be, if that is the case itself, right? Okay, the bond yield really go to 4.66, then people will basically take more money from the stock market and dump into the bond market. They will buy the bond because by the time that happened, the yield is at 4.7% or even higher if you worry. But you must understand one thing right now, a lot of people buy the long-term yield, long-term bond like the 5 years, 10 years, 20 years, right? Then they realize that now the yield in the lower time, like 3 months, 6 months is better. So what they do is that they sell the higher bond and then buy into the lower time frame bond. Yeah, and the yield itself is at 4 to 5%. It's still better. So if the stock market players realize that this year itself there's no way stock can be up by 5% on average, then there'll be a lot of funds moving their funds away and then buy into this bonds itself. And that is why you can see that the stock market pull back. Okay, so this one thing to take note of that. Yeah. Okay, so of course you ask this question, then why is the Bitcoin shooting up then? Well, because everybody now realize that putting the money with the dollar that's depreciating itself, then the next thing that is really untapped is Bitcoin. Okay, and they are saying that some speculation says that Donald Trump will really motivate and push Bitcoin and crypto market higher. So that's why the Bitcoin industry start to buy into this because gold is a bit too high now, right? You notice that 3,300 to 400, they felt it's too high. While the crypto market got a lot of space in the way, so everybody envisioning 150,000, 200,000, and so forth, right? Yeah, all this thing, yeah. Okay, and you can also see this particular news that BlackRock, this Bitcoin Trust ETF, has surged to the top 5 ETF in 2025, attracting nearly $9 billion. So there's a very strong inflow of strong institutional interest in Bitcoin. So all these things as well, right? You can actually read them if you actually subscribe to this Trading View. Okay, they have news that is decent. Yeah, you can look into that. Okay, so that's all the information I can share with you. And of course, I also tell you about this particular counter, United Health, right? Remember, I tell you that to take note of this counter, and I did mention to you, don't need to chase after it. There will be a pullback in the near term. So yesterday, United Health Group, right, dropped by 5.78%. Yes, indeed, it went up from the low end about 250 all the way to 325. But you can see what happened yesterday. The price actually gapped down and trade lower. So if you ask me, if you really want to buy this, try to look at it for it to come back down to 250 mark. All right, around here. I think this will be a very good price to really buy into United Health Group again. I think you have a chance on that, yeah? Okay, you have a chance on that. And let's see any news on this. Hold on. So you can see that the share fell by 6% after HSBC downgraded its rating and cuts the price target. Okay, concern arose from the undisclosed payment to the nursing homes and Medicare fraud investigation. So, in short, they are trying to pay a penalty over this. Okay, so this is all the good stuff you can get from TradingView if you want to go into that. Okay, so that is the overseas side, some data. Let's look into our market now. Okay, so let's look at gold, yeah? So gold has really, really went up, guys. Okay, guys, this is good gold. And we already telling you, go, why are we buying? And we know the reason was because I told you, right, with the KCX that happened a couple days ago, where the gold was selling off, and then everybody was saying, okay, we have seen the highest point of gold, gold will now go down, blah, 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 blah. You know what it is? Like, every time when the media says something, the market will do the opposite. It's like that. I've been like this for the long, long while. All right, so the thing is this, we just have to believe in what we saw. So the next thing is that we saw the stacked diamond, right? And now you can see the power of the stacked diamond, right? You can see once you stay above the line, the market goes up. So today, where could gold be heading? I think today we'll see 3353 lor. Yeah, because now they're starting to hold back already, right? You have the KSI green, KCX black, you have CCRY, you have above OP, above MLP, and I told you very importantly, we're now above the moving average of MA30. So all these are very bullish signal. So that's why I believe today we will see 3353, okay? All right, I'll write down for you, 3353, okay? Right, so big already, you have to be very handicapped not to see this, yeah? Okay, now the reason why we are saying that gold will continue to go higher, because you must understand that the dollar is facing a lot of pressure at the moment right now. We don't understand why the pressure is on the dollar, because the bond market, right? When the bond market goes down, there'll be a lot of pressure on itself. Okay, so the dollar will face a lot of this pressure from the market. It will have that, and because of that, you will generally see the market will buy into gold. Okay, so take note of this, very, very important stuff. Okay, wait, something wrong my side here. Okay, all right. Okay, all clear, yeah? If all clear, press number one right now. Number two right now. Okay, so 3353 will be the target for this goal in this coming day, today, at least for today, yeah? Very, very important. Okay, now, the next thing that we want to look at is that you will notice, hey, Cal, where's the MA 200? Yeah, okay, drag down from the axis, pull it out. You can see, the 200-day MA is below. So you can see generally both the two lines are now giving you the buy signal, and the buy signal came on this day itself. So we just broke above the MA 200, MA 30, sorry. So that's why there's still a lot of room to go. Now, if the market can carry past this to the KCB at 3366, then of course the next target is 3437. Okay, but let's just take one thing by a time. 3353 first, then we see whether can he test 3366. Okay, all right, so on this one done. Now, Dow Jones. Now, I already given you the warning last few days. I tell you the bond market to pick note. So, of course, hey, Cal, but yesterday you say that the KSI is green and the KCX is black, which is still the same now. Then how can you be calling for a sell when the boys are buying, the British are buying? Now, I already said this for the up 10 times already. Don't know why people still cannot get it. Yeah? I say for us itself, we always follow the price action of the market. The KSI and the KCX is a secondary reference for your positioning in size and expectation. So which means that if the market trade below OP, we will sell. If the trade market trade above OP, we will buy. This one is already carved in stone. Yeah. Then the KSI and KCX will give us a reference for us to consider what our sizing do we want to trade with, and then the expectation. That means that if the market now is coming down, like yesterday below OP, we sell, right? Because of MLP was on top. But because KSI is green and KCX is black, so the volume that you calculated eventually must be small. And then after that, you also, every level, you must take profit along the way. That is how you do it safely. Now, of course, it's a contrarian thinking, Cal. If the whole world is all buying and the price is below OP, can I sell very big itself? Because I surely know the market will be wrong. Eh, this one is actually PTP knowledge. PTP, we do actually exploit on this area. But of course, in PTP, we also have this point whereby you have to flip the position very fast, and you must have the tenacity to do that. Because if you don't have, right, then you play very big, and then the market reverse against you, and then you will lost, and then you get hit by the market. So this one is right. It's a concept that makes sense, but you really have to have the type of discipline and emotional control to do that. So I'm not too sure that you can handle that, but if you try, why not? Okay, so today the opening price is very clear. The opening price is 41,775. Okay, that's opening price. The MLP is 42,220. So very clear by default. The MLP is on top, meaning if the market trades below OP, it's a sell. But this morning, the market opened already and go back up again, right? Very normal. Why? Because this is still a generally bull market, right? So for the market to pull back by 1% or 2% is very, very normal. So it's very normal for the market to really go up like this right now. But actually, right, I would love to see if the market can test pivot one later. If the market can test pivot one later and touch and pull back, wow, then I will short below the pivot. I repeat, if the market touch 41944, touch only, right, and then reverse down, then I will short below the pivot. Now, of course, by then doing this, you say, yeah, again, you break your own rule because now the it's above OP, right? Yeah, I know. But in PTP itself, right, we have this thing about when to break break the OP rule. And one of them is when you touch a technical point and you use a technical point as a form of guidance for you to put your entry and your stop loss. All right. So this is swing trading methodology. Yeah. Okay, so if you want to, and hopefully that happen, then we can try that. Okay, so today, if it's above 4p you buy, then of course the profit will be 41944 if you're buying now. Yeah. Now, if the market really fall, this is where you must listen to me now. You can see that we have a problem here. MA 200 already been tested, okay? And the market closed below the MA 200. So the long-term trend already informed you they are selling already. So the last thing that may happen, which this guy here, so 41,426, which is the MA 30, right? And I told you MA30 is like a magnet. It usually draws the market towards it itself. So there is a high chance that if the market breaks OP, right, the market will draw itself all the way to 41,426 today. So guys, very simple. Today opening price is, I told you right, 41,775. So if the market do break below OP, you just sell, hold it, hold it, hold it until you see 41,426. Why? Two reasons. Number one, is because below OP we sell, right? Two, there's a gap. Can you see that? There's a gap here. Now the gap itself, coincidentally, is around 450. So which means that the market likely will cover that gap. This is technical, yeah? So one thing to note, there is a possibility of that happening, okay? So all clear? If all clear, press number 3 right now. Now that means that I give you both sides of the coin. I tell you the buy and I give you the sell. Okay, the buy is back to 41,944. The downside is 41,426. Okay, clear, yeah? Right, because yesterday someone asked me, KEL, why must you need to clarify about your buy sell call? Of course, there are people still saying that I only go one side. Cringe. All right, I watched my video, a few videos recently, and it's always two-sided view. Okay, all right. So I give you both sides of the coin. Then you make a decision from down there. Okay. Okay, Ken. Next market I'll talk about today is the China market. Yeah. Now the China market, I already told you that this market itself, we caught for a buy last 2 weeks ago because of the diamond here, and then the market really follow up. But recently, you can see the market have been pretty sideways, although it's going up still. KSI is green, KS is black, but I think we should take some profit soon. Yeah, the overall is bullish because both MA30 and MA200 are all bullish at the same time. But I think that we should take some profit. There are some guiding say that it may go for this because they want to break the high and catch more players. But I just feel that a bit draggy recently. So maybe taking some profit will be good. But of course, the choice is yours. Yeah. Okay, now this is the Hang Seng. You can see today Hang Seng is very clear. Hang Seng today is below OP, below pivot 2 already. So by right, we know, right, below OP, below pivot 2 is always a sell. So I think Hang Seng will go down to 23,198 if the selling really persists from the US side. So watch out for this, yeah, because today pivot 2 is in the house. And I told you before, right, never, 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 never fight pivot, okay? So yesterday when the market opened for the Dow Jones and trade below OP and pivot 2, I know confirm sell already. That's how I do this thing here, okay? All right. Last one, we look at the currency market. Canadian. Okay, Canadian dollar, as we preached back then to, I think, Iman, remember? We said that Canadian will go up, and true be told, the Canadian dollar really went up already, right? Okay, good. So now what happening? The Canadian dollar now is coming down. Okay, it's coming down, and you can see why is it coming down. Show you so there is a 4 diamond here, remember, and that was where we purchased, right? Okay, good. Now when there's no diamond going forward, the 4 diamond will still stay as a technical level. So when the market actually on this day tested the white line, right, I was already telling myself, okay, better watch. The second day, you notice that the closing is already marginally below the white line. This is really that is how powerful and how crazy the system is. The precision is incredible. Just because it closed below the white line, the next day you can see the market failed to stay above the white line and boom, came down. Okay, again, you may say, "Cal, but the KSI is green." Yes, I know. So sell small and take profit along the way. But I never say cannot sell. In fact, you can sell. Below the line already, color changed to red. Of course, can cut and turn short. Okay, can, definitely can, yeah? Okay, so for those people who think that you want to buy, then of course you can still buy because above OP you can still buy. But since it's below the 4 diamond technical level, right, I'm not very comfortable to buy it. Okay, so the choice is yours, yeah? I already tell you what to do. And one more currency is euro. Let me show to you euro. Now, euro is very interesting. Euro, okay, wait, hey, Cal, why got no diamond, yeah? Look, when you see this chart and there's no diamond, it's not that it's spoiled. You just have to right click and press refresh. Yeah, then the diamond will come out already. Okay, don't panic. So there's a diamond here, put a line, right? Okay, absolutely white line, yeah. Okay, so you can see why this system is so powerful. You see, when a blue diamond appear, once it's above the market, just buy. Don't care. Right, but Gal, KSI rate. Okay, already tell you the same thing already, right? As long as above OP you can buy, above diamond can buy, but if KSI is red, then just buy smaller and take profit along the way. So you see the retail are buying what the big boys are selling. Interesting, right? So that's why I told you our indicator got nothing to do with the price action or volume analysis. Nothing to do with that, okay? So Cal, is this an elephant trade? Yes, this is an elephant trade, which means that the price is going up, but the KSI is red. So if there's going to be a sell down, yes, the market may come down. But because the dollar now is so weak, right, it's kind of difficult, yeah? Not very possible. Now I'm going to stretch one more market, and it's the one that I've been asked, VIX. Now I told you guys, right, oh, my VIX, oh, sorry, my VIX don't have the data. Hold on, yeah? Sorry, yeah. Okay, see, this is VIX, right? You see, VIX already recovered from 17.45, recovered to 20 already. I told you there's a gap here, right? Remember, I told you there's a gap. Now, sorry, I can't be every day covering everything. I mean, I will tell you what to do already. You can look at it, right? So you can see that the VIX actually bottomed out at about 17.5 and now it's 20. I told you it will go up. If it already go up itself, you can see as high as 35. But of course, to reach 35, you will need something very, very devastating to reach that itself. So I don't know what will happen, but if you have bought it cheap, then of course there's no need to worry already. Huh? Okay, can. Now we're already focusing to actually come out the Hong Kong data, but at the moment now AIMS doesn't have the Hong Kong data yet. But I'm gonna slip this to you. I take a look here itself. Yeah, this is how it works. Ignore the sound, just a bit noisy. Okay, but you can see that this is the Hong Kong data, and look at the Hong Kong data. If you follow the rule of the diamonds, you can see that you can buy, and you follow rule of diamond, that's why you can short the market. You see that? That's why I'm very, very busy. Now we're trying to do everything and put our app into really full control and let the whole world join us in this bandwagon. Yeah, pretty cool, right? Okay, guys, that will be all for today for this morning session. We'll do the second session itself in about 3 minutes. I need to take some stuff from my inbox. Yeah, okay, let's start soon. Yeah, bye bye.